All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, all of you. Come on, you got to give it up for them now. Right? So next to me is Misha Lee Baptiste, who is going to, So Michel'Le is going to play drums when we're going to record them in Studio B with me. And Michel'Le is currently was just on tour with Fifth Harmony. Nice. And formerly Beyonce. Anything else you got going in the mix there that we need, or you can't say? Oh, Chloe and Halle. I didn't know that. Okay, maybe I did know that. It's probably in your bio. You guys have their bio. So whatever I miss, you can pick up in the printed version. And then I have Marcella Araica, right?
Thank you.
The amazing mix engineer is going to share her wisdom with you again. Britney Spears, Madonna, Nelly Furtado, Usher, Missy Elliott. There's an enormously long list of folks there, which is a testament to how awesome she is. And then we have Blush. Yes! So we just, like I said, we just had the opportunity of working with her, and she is a machine of a songwriter and an amazing vocalist. Meghan Trainor, Disney, badass, so check that out.
Yes.
And the amazing TRAKGIRL.
Yeah.
Yes. Right? Beats for Jhené Aiko, Luke James, amazing. We've been spending more and more time with you, which we're very happy about. And so she's going to be breaking down some beats today for you that she's made. Woo! And then we have Amanda Davis. Yes. So front of house, live sound engineer for Janelle Monáe. Like, first day of your tour, 2 days from now, is that what it is? So she's like buzzing in and doing this and buzzing out and starting this whole major tour. So like, come on, that's major. But also Tegan and Sarah. And Jane Handcock on the end there, another amazing, fantastic songwriter. Woo! She can break down how these songs get made. So you have all this amazing talent up here. I hope you take advantage of it. I want to start with, each of you are in a different discipline, kind of. Just talk about how you originally got interested in that niche of the industry that you're in.
My dad is a drummer. And then my mom, she dances, so like music was just always playing in the house. Then I think I got more into music after I heard Yellow Jackets and Earth, Wind and Fire. And so those are my favorite bands. And so I was like, I'm all set, you know. So I did sports. And so between music and sports, I was very like torn in between the two. I went to TSU first. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do sports. I'm going to do music. And I decided to go to Berklee College of Music. I graduated. My major was professional music. And basically, you can take 3 different majors. And I took film scoring, music therapy, and performance. And I just did a big presentation at the end, graduated, moved to LA. I did not know I was going to be a touring musician. I thought I was going to move to the UK and just be a producer. I don't know why, but yeah. So moving to LA, like, just opened a whole nother, world to me with music and meeting new, people and just vibing out with other musicians and, artists and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Very cool. I'm actually the opposite. I wasn't really brought up in a family of music. I'm kind of the black sheep of the family. I have 2 parents that came from, my mom is from Colombia and my father's Nicaraguan. So they came to the United States to, I like to say that I'm an anchor baby for them because they basically came to the States to kind of solidify themselves here. But yeah, so... they're 2 hardworking middle-class parents that just wanted to make sure that we follow the path of, good school, colleges, et cetera, finding a career, probably just a straight blue-collar type of job. But just from being really young, one thing that was in the house was music, just being played. I don't think my mic went out. Okay. My father was just... loved the Beach Boys, loved Stevie Wonder, just constantly played these amazing records that just resonated with me as such a young girl, and I didn't really know what it meant, but years later, I really wanted to follow a career in music. I do not play an instrument, I do not sing, I just have an ear for music and really understanding or thinking I understand back in the day. But I just had this just different approach to just listening. Like, I would just really just tune in on what's going on in the music. And eventually I found a school not right after high school, a few years after high school, I found a school in Orlando. I'm from Miami, and the school is called Full Sail. And it was a school that offered an audio engineering program, the first time that I had actually stepped into a real recording studio, to where everything for me just at that point was like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, nothing can stop me. And I pursued it, and I graduated in 2002 and got my internship at a hit factory in Miami. And 2 months into my internship, I started working with Missy Elliott. And it was a really fast, progression for me, because that's really unheard of to be moved, that quickly. And from there, my relationship started with Timberland, and eventually my business partner today, who's Danger. So yeah, it's been 16 years now that I've been doing it, almost maybe 17. I don't know, 2002. You guys do the math, but but no, a long time. So yeah. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. Well, I've been singing since I could breathe. So I've been singing my entire life. My mom has always been the choir director every city we've ever lived in. She was in the military, so we moved a lot. But I've always sang in the choir, and I started when I was 3. And when I was 19, I decided that college, wasn't for me. But music was. Music's always been a part of my life. So I moved to Atlanta when I was 19. I just hopped in my car and went. I told my mom, this is what I'm doing, and she supported me and drove me to Atlanta. And I ended up meeting my mentor, Pierre Medor, who was a part of the Corner Boys. I don't know if you guys remember the Corner Boys. It was Rico Love and him and a couple of other people. And he taught me how to record and songwrite and really hone in on what songwriting actually was, instead of just writing a cool song. It's he opened up the passion for me. It was something that I didn't really know was a career before I moved there. It was just something that I would always do. I had one of those black and white, them little notebooks. Everybody has one. But I was just writing songs, and it wasn't really a career thing for me. But when I moved to Atlanta, I ended up getting my first placement with Tanisha Kelly. And then I got Jessica Mayboy, and then I ended up meeting K. Michelle. And I did her first project, and then I executive produced her second project. And then I was like, you know what, I think I want to move to LA. Because, I signed with Sony in 2013. That was my first publishing deal, and I was with them for about a year and a half. I got through my deal really fast because I did the projects. And I moved here in 2013, and I ended up meeting up with Disney, and I signed to them in 2015, and I've been with them for the last 2 years, and they're amazing. They're my publishers now, but I've been able to do Meghan Trainor and Chris Brown and Demi Lovato and Kelly Clarkson, and it's just opened up so many different doors, and I'm able to work with one of the biggest companies in the world and create music for them, and it's just amazing.
Where do I start? I'm gonna go. So I come from a family of musicians. My mom was classically trained. My uncle sang in groups. My brothers were in performing arts schools and stuff like that. But I never wanted to take the traditional route. I grew up in South Virginia, 757 area. When I I was really heavily influenced by like Timbaland, Michel'Le at the time, NERD, Pharrell Williams, and I've always was curious of how like sonics were made because I'm a nerd and I'm a techie. Hey. So I saved up my money and, purchased my first beat machine at 16. And yeah, my career didn't really start until college. I went to Hampton University. And, being in college, I was just surrounded by a lot of like music heads and stuff like that. And, that's when I started taking my first trips to like Atlanta and LA. My very first LA trip, I met my mentor, No ID. And, just networking and being in like big rooms in the studio. And I just kept going and just trying to stay inspired and be surrounded by good people. I just kept pushing. And here I am amongst awesome ladies.
I started off as a singer. I have a BA in vocal performance, and I just didn't enjoy the classical culture. I loved singing, but it just being in the spotlight was not my thing. So I was like, I still want to do music, and I had a friend that went to SAE in Atlanta, so I just took a leap of faith and moved from Chicago and said, I'm just gonna see what this is about. I had no idea what an input, compressor, out, nothing. I just said, I'm gonna go, and I went to school, and I just put the time in and was there every day. And developed a passion for it, and got like 3 internships at the same time, and was in studios, and it's like, this could work. I was gung-ho. I thought I was telling Misha Lee earlier, I thought I was gonna be the next Marcella, Araica, and I'm like, I'm in this. I'm in this, and I needed money. So I got a church job doing live sound. I was like, what is this? I want to Marcella can be her. I'm gonna be me. And that's how I found live sound, just on a whim, because I needed money and started doing church jobs. And it just went from there. I got a cruise ship job, and after that, I did not want to go back on a cruise ship. And I got a call, and I was on break between my ship contracts. And I was going to talk to my friend who is Janelle's tour and production manager. We went to high school together. So I was going to talk to him and like, how do I break into touring? Like, I really want to do this. And he ended up calling me because she went to her team and said she wanted a female on her crew. Yeah. So that's how it happened. I've been with Janelle for the last 5 years, and in between that, I got the gig with Tegan and Sarah, and I'm their production manager and front of house engineer. Nice.
So my story is kind of similar to the ladies. I grew up singing. Since I was coherent, I probably sang before I talked because I loved music. I didn't get really serious with it until high school. I went to Oakland School for the Arts. I'm from Oakland, California. I went to school with other artists, Kaylani, Adrian, Marcel. So we all kind of like were in school together, and we were in different grades, but we all kind of got to see each other's beginning come from there. And other people, Sir Dylan, he did a lot of stuff for Weekend, Solange. We all kind of just grew up together in that sense. When I graduated high school, I tried college, and it just didn't really work out like that. I knew that I wanted to do music as well, and I just wanted to kind of figure out like what avenue could I really take, because I always did like musical theater and I studied jazz. So, I knew that, okay, I wanted to do music, but I just didn't really know like the different avenues. I didn't know anything about anything. And I mean, I don't know, like coming from Oakland, like just the grind and the hustle, I just knew that I was gonna like run into these people. So, like I just kept doing it. I moved to Atlanta. Nobody in my family believed me. I didn't believe myself. I literally told my mom, like, next week I'm leaving. And she was like, And that next week I left, and I left at 20. And I was down there, and again, I didn't know how I was gonna really do anything, but I just, with my talent and my drive, I really ended up hitting a lot of people. I work with Teddy Riley, Jazzy Faye, Kalina, Polo the Don. I'm probably forgetting names. My first placement was with Kelly Rowland. Kiki Palmer, she's become like a good friend of mine, just us working with each other through Bangladesh. And then I always kept going back to LA because I'm from Cali, so I can never stay away from California long, period. So I'd come out here, I work with James Fauntleroy, 1500 and Nothing, and there's just a bunch of different people. I'm probably forgetting names. And then a few years back, I got really connected with Raphael Sadiq, and it was dope because we were both coming from the same place. And he just really took me under his wing and taught me a lot. So I worked very closely under him, and it's just been dope to really watch and learn. I did songwriting for years. I started doing that, but I knew that I wanted to do more because I was somebody who wasn't nervous. I was somebody who loved to be on the stage. I loved to sing. And, in school, I was a bit of like the music snob. I was the singy girl. Like, no, I can sing. So, but, and songwriting really wasn't my thing, but it just happened to be nobody was going to write a song for me. So I just got into it. So I still feel like I'm a student, and I still feel like I'm very new in this. So I'm very excited to be here and meet you ladies. You guys are very inspiring.
Thank you.
So, yeah, for sure. For sure.
This is awesome. So much love in the room. We like that. You guys probably hate answering this question, but can we just approach it from it's helpful to everybody that's listening? So what, tools, it could be technical or it could be a skill, that what is really important, do you think, to your own success? And let's just not be afraid to brag. I am really good at this thing, and it's been really good. That's been really key to my success. And it could be I got really fast at Pro Tools. It could be I practiced 80 hours a day. It could be I'm really good at convincing people to do what I want, or whatever you think it is. I think that might be helpful. The collective wisdom up here of that, I think, would be helpful to everybody there. And you can just jump at Track's ready to go.
Okay, go ahead. You can go first. Well, I was just going to jump in, but okay. Honestly, I think when I first started out, one thing that you just said that really resonated with me is that you're still a student, but you're still learning. And I think that's so important. Thank you so much. I can talk too loud. No, but I think one thing is that, I'm constantly an open book to learn, even to this day. With the ever, changing technology, you have to be open to not being so stagnant in your own, practices. So for me, just starting out, all right. So just starting out, I was just, I was really, really great at making sure I got the best silky vocals, whether it was a woman that I was recording or a male, so I took a lot of pride in really understanding what the microphones work. I'd rather just talk like this. So I really took a lot of, just time in understanding what microphones did, what the characteristics were, and just really understanding tones from different artists and singers, or whoever I was recording, or the sound instrument that I was recording. So I think that was such a big entry point for me, because people really started to really take note of the type of sound that I was collecting, and eventually everything that I recorded, obviously I would start to kind of put a light mix on it, and that light mix would sometimes outbeat the actual mix that would be, they would go and hire a bigger mixer to mix it. But then the label would come back and say, well, we actually like the rough mix better, So that's kind of I just completely, I always just kept wanting to learn and learn and learn. Even if a new mic came out, or a new plug-in, or a new anything, I constantly, and I think that's a big testament of who I am even to this day. I try to just completely, just stay fresh. And I think that's been a big part of when people, speak about my work, it's like, it always just sounds so like, and it's like, I know where that comes from because I know what I do behind the scenes, just as a natural, like, it's not like I go there and say, okay, this is my study time. No, it's just a part of what I do, and, many years into this, I continue to keep doing it.
Nice. Definitely, my motto is forever. Try to be a student forever. Like, I'm always learning different things. But another, I guess, skill or per se, I guess, this is more personal, is just having a lot of patience, and don't like rush your craft or rush your art. Because I guess we can get discouraged kind of when we're coming up with our careers and think like something's not happening in that moment. But like, if you just have the mindset to continue to focus on your craft and just push and just continue to work, and it'll eventually happen for you, because it's oftentimes it's about timing. And just stay centered and like have good energy, stay focused, and just stay positive. That's especially when you're like in LA in this industry, it can get negative. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think for me, learning how to walk in the room and be myself and really love myself first more than I love the music and everything else, because it gets very hectic. You're going to have times where everything sucks and you don't believe in yourself and you don't think you're good enough, and you have these thoughts, and these are things that run through your mind. But as long as you love yourself, and when you walk in the room, people respect who you are, and you walk in the room respecting yourself and you demand respect. And, earlier I know they had said about how, as a woman walking into the room, do you ever feel less than, or like, like they're not gonna, and you will come across that. But like I've told all the girls that I've spoken to before, when I walk in the room, I know what I'm doing. And it's so important that you have the knowledge, and when you walk in the room, you're not asking for anything, you're demanding everything. Because people will downplay you. People will make you feel less than, or not make you feel, be trying to make you feel less than. But as long as you know what you need to know, I know what my session is supposed to sound like. I know what my vocals are supposed to sound like. I know what plugin I need to use. I know what my auto-tune setting is. I know that if you don't have auto-tune, you have this, and I know what I'm doing. So you can't ever play me. You get what I'm saying? Have the respect when you walk in the room, and people will respect you. It's not about just being a woman. It's just like, know what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? And be strong.
Just to piggyback, claps to everything you guys just said, because it's so true. I don't know. I guess I'm more quieter than others, and some people are like that. I'm very observant, so I like to kind of observe everything that's going on. I always look at like studio sessions as like a show, or like, I don't know, it's like a test. I feel like I'm in like a story mode game or something, because it's like you have to really like observe different vibes, different energies around, and you kind of see what you're working with. But always know who you are, always know what you possess, and you have to know it like the back of your hand. Like you can't even sit it, like it has to show in your face. Even when you feel, sometimes, I don't feel as, up there. Like you say, you have those moments, but it's something about when I walk in a room, it's game time. So I always look at things like that. Everything that I do, every obstacle that I'm put in is game time. So, I play it well. For me, I know, like, I engineer myself. If there's any type of dyslexic word for not knowing theory, that's me. Like when I was in school, I did not know theory. I'm ashamed to kind of say it, but like in our school, it's like, like Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Trig. There was like Music Theory 1, Music Theory 2, and I stayed in Music Theory 1 all of my years. But I aced ear training because I just knew how things were supposed to sound. So I still don't even know how I amazed myself. Like, I still don't know how I taught myself how to even do Pro Tools and mix and everything, but it's just like you said, you just know how things are supposed to sound, to where, it's to the point where I have to like kind of, tell the engineer, can you scoot over real quick? Can you scoot over? Because I just know how it's supposed to sound like, and I know they get kind of, they know, like they come in already knowing they're technical, and I don't know none of that. So, look, but I just know you press this button and it sound like that. So let's try that, you know? So I try to do that, and you know, just know who you are and be comfortable in yourself. You know, I'm not gonna lie and sit up here and say I've mastered that yet, but it's just becoming easier, me growing into myself. And sometimes it has nothing to do with music. You know, you have to really know who you are. And I think once you center around yourself and your self-confidence, everything around your life, everything in your life will start to come full circle. And I know for me, that's what's happening, so, yeah.
I would say for me is piggyback on everything, especially that a lot of times in the live world, all you run into is these white guys with ponytails. It's just like, so with shows, so, yeah, all of them have ponytails for the most part. So in our world, you have to advance shows, which is talk to the production companies, everybody. So I've been emailing these people, right? So I walk in the room, where's your front of house guy? And I'm like, we've been even on a phone conference. You know there's no front of house guy. But I'm like, hey, it's me. But that it's about knowing who you are and knowing why you are there and why you are in the room. And I know I can mix. That's not a cocky thing or whatever. I just know I can mix. And I don't approach it from a technical standpoint or mathematically. I approach it as a musician, as a singer, and I knew that's why I would be successful in this position. Even when I was recording music, I loved tracking vocalists because I am a vocalist. So it helped. We had a great relationship when I was even rappers on like cadences or breath control or things like that. So you have to really know and be confident in your knowledge. Don't second guess your knowledge or yourself. Know who you are and just do it. And that's the mindset I have when I approach my mix. Like, I just want it to feel good. The reason why I love doing live sounds because you see the initial reaction of the audience and what they're feeling when you have done a delay throw or anything, you know. So yeah, you just gotta have confidence in yourself and believe in the reason why you're in the position or in the room that you're doing.
I'm the last person. But I want to piggyback to what you were saying, Marcella, about just learning what's coming out. You know, I remember my first semester at Berkeley, I had a teacher who said, she wasn't my teacher, but she was just talking, and she was like, our skin color, we always run to like R&B, funk, gospel, and all that type of stuff. That first week, I changed all my classes. I didn't take no gospel class, no funk, no R&B, because that's stuff that I know. I ended up taking the Tiffany class, Brazil class, South Africa, just learning the different, you know, history and all the different rhythms, you know, just to push myself, just in case somebody call me and say, hey, we want you to play for this movie. Can you play Tiffany chimes? I know how to play it. Right. So you always want to put yourself out there and do stuff that you would never think you can do, so you can be ready. Get that check. Seriously, get that check. You don't want to get a call and somebody's like, yo, can you play the xylophones? Actually, I can't. What? No, that you're missing out on a connection, like, you know, meeting new people, and you don't even know where that could take you next. So just always be open. I always tell myself, I'm always learning, growing, and maturing. Every day. It's just like they were saying, we're a student. We're still learning. It's not to the point that we master, you know, our instruments. Nah, we're still learning, man. And just continue. So it's so many things that's coming out. Learn it. Just learn it, you know? That's it. Yeah.
We have limited time, so we're going to go to questions if you guys don't mind. Okay, bring it. All right, let's do this. You can take my mic. I don't need it.
You can take my mic too.
Hi there. So I have a question, and it's also regarding what the other beautiful lady there, I didn't get your name, had said. And with regards to management, do you all have management? Because I went from being a recording artist on Arista, composer, doing my whole thing like you girls, and then I decided I really want to represent, you know, other producers, writers, and so on. But I only get approached by, I'm sure you've heard of Damon Elliott, and who's Pink, and the Jackie Boys. I get men. I never get women. How do we get to the women? For me, representing. Do you have representation?
I currently don't. I manage myself right now, but I just think there's not that many women. That's all it is. I don't think that, it's only that men approach her. I just think there aren't that many women doing this. So this is what this is for, to open that door to help women get in this industry, because it's a lack of women. I think that's really all it is. I don't think they don't approach you, but it's I would prefer a woman manager, because I know we don't play.
And blush.
You get what I'm saying? So, it just has always been men, because those are the ones who are usually in those fields. But
right, and that's blush. I took you by the hand and brought you to that step and repeat that you were trying to avoid.
She made me do it.
For me, I'm trying to change all that. I'm endorsed by Pearl, Evans, Peisty, and all these other companies. But I always ask, I was like, do y'all have any women that can manage me, that can be my rep, I just ask a question. And if they don't, okay, cool. I would like to, be in that role, just in case if y'all have a job open up. Because we gotta push, So I'm putting myself out there. And I'm already a shy person. I don't even like to talk. So it's good to put yourself out there again, just to start something.
I mean, for myself, I've been approached many times to be managed, but the thing is, for me, is I'm looking for somebody to come into my world and elevate it. I've been doing this so long that work comes to me. So I don't need nobody to bring me work per se, but what can you do to bring me, somewhere else and change it, because otherwise it's the same thing. So I'd rather not give a percentage up for something that I've been doing anyway on my own. The only management that I do have is a business manager, and he handles all my accounting and finances and taxes and stuff a year, because I don't want to be met by the IRS, and I work a freelance job, so it's not a typical I don't get paid. I'm self-employed, so it gets tricky. So that's the only management that I have that works for me at the moment. But if
Hi, I just wanted to say, first of all, y'all look like superheroes, okay? Go Power Rangers type stuff, okay? And also, I know that the music industry itself is hard to get into, of course. But how did you overcome those feelings of real doubt? Actually, I understand believing in yourself and, trying to overcome, your obstacles. But sometimes, the obstacles are very difficult to get over with, especially women of color and stuff like that. So, to go outside the box and get over yourself to...
You can't stop. I mean, I've had ups, downs. I've been broke. I've been homeless. I've been penniless. I've been sad. I've been hungry. I've been up. I've been happy. I've been rich. It's a part of the process. Like I said, self-love. None of that matter. Whatever you're gonna go through, you have to go through it. So you can't look at it like it's happening against you. It's happening for you. So you have to take everything that's happening and use it for your journey. You can't be mad about it. It's just a part, because your story, I'm up here, I'm able to tell my story because I went through it. I can sit up here and say I've been homeless and not feel any type of way about it because I've overcame that, because I didn't stop. Everything has come against me. I have a whole child. You get what I'm saying? I have an 8-year-old son.
Hey.
And I'm still, I didn't stop. If I would have stopped, it would have been over a long time ago. But I just kept going. I kept going to sessions. If I was almost on E, I ain't even care. I'm going. And that's how I was able to do what I did. You can't, and all that is, it's the purpose to all the pain. Trust me. So, walk through it, girl.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Yeah, y'all give it up for him. I would say the same thing. You know, like me, I'm better saying it now because I didn't used to like to admit it. I'm a very anxious person though. I'm quietly anxious though. I don't be like a drama queen about it. But I'll be very tormented inside because I'm a thinker. So, you know, with me, sometimes I just gotta go. Like I have this mindset is because I think I overthink a lot. So at times, when that time comes for you, you have to sometimes just jump. Because if you keep thinking about it, you're never gonna do it. Or you're gonna be like, you know, and then you're just scare yourself and like, I'm not doing that, like forget it. But now sometimes you just have to jump. Like this thing, it's levels to it. It's not even like enter the industry and you pass go and it's like, you know, you just have to keep working. You can't cheat the grind. And it's, you know, some days you'll do something, you'll get an opportunity to get something super big. Sometimes it doesn't seem that big to you and it's an opportunity that comes. You have to just master it. And it's really about mastering yourself and mastering the levels within yourself. And you'll start to see yourself leveling up automatically. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to go. Sometimes you can't think about it. You can't do anything like that. Cause like if I thought about a lot of stuff, I swear I wouldn't do it because I'm just like, So, you know, so yeah.
There's going to be a lot of downs. I mean, I was kicked out of the studio by Misha Lee. She told me I was too slow.
Oh
My God. And I was like, oh God, I'm pregnant. You know, but what did I do? I turned around and I really, what is up with this?
That position.
I just really got out of that whole, you know, I got myself out that box. I'm just going to talk like this. Yeah. I just got myself out that box, you know, because I just took it for what it was, and I said, you know what, I'm going to learn Pro Tools, I'm going to come back again and just prove her wrong. And that's what I ended up doing. The next time an opportunity came for me where I had to record her again, she was like, oh God, not you again. And I was like, I got something for you. You know? And she was like, you know, she was very impressed or whatnot. So there's going to be downs, but you have to know how to bring it back up. You know what I mean? It's not the end all be all. It's just a minor setback. So, yeah.
Thank you, Power Rangers.
And honestly, to add to that, I had supportive friends, like seriously, and family to push me. Times they got on my doggone nerves, but they really helped me to keep going. So.
Yeah. Clean your circle.